Oh, fuck.
A king takes kings.
That's the
I
thing,
want
Lee.
Joshua. If he doesn't give me the fight, we have other plans. The world wants Joshua. The world wants Wilder. I want Joshua. Joshua, come out and see me, baby. No more dodging, no more excuses. Make the date. Don't wait.
Nowhere does he say, show me the contract. You see, the game they're going to play here, you guys, is they're going to say, he's not signing our contract. And then Anthony Joshua, then, fuck you, you're not signing our contract. We as fans need to get on one side of this. Seriously. Even if it's all the Americans are siding with Joshua on who should sign what contract, because I'm telling you right now, I can tell you the future. It's going to be, they're not signing what Al Heyman wants, and he's going to say they're not signing what Eddie Hearn wants. Right?
That's what it's going to come down to.
That's what it's going to come. Showtime.
We've already spent too much time on it. My opinion.
Showtime is going to have to bring down their boss that made Pacquiao versus Mayweather. Remember the CEO? I'm forgetting his name right now, but the CEO of it all. He's got to come down and make this fight happen, and it ain't going to happen next year. If anything, if we're lucky, it'll be the end of next year, because I don't think the money's right on what both men are going to demand. People, Anthony Joshua is already a $20 million fighter. He made that in his last fight. Deontay and Al Heyman, you know, are going to demand this type of money. Even though they might not be that valuable yet to this fight, they're going to demand it. That's what's going to keep him out of it. So don't buy the BS this morning about, oh, I'm ready, let's fight, I'm ready, let's fight. Until you hear Wilder say, I'm ready to sign Eddie Hearn's contract, because they are the ones in the driver's seat. People, he just did 78,000 seats in his last fight.
Yeah, I'm going to break it down for Deontay because he's clueless. Joshua doesn't need to chase you, and he's
Takam.
This is no different than Deontay wanting to fight Klitschko. For those of you who don't know, Deontay was champion while Klitschko was champion, and made all kinds of crazy claims why he couldn't fight Klitschko either.
Carlos Takam, 78,000 sold.
Which takes us to news of the week. We're going to give it more time in a minute anyway, so I might as well just get to news of the week. News of the week brought to you by LasVegasDiscount.net. 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 For 50% off, you can't beat it. Go to LasVegasDiscount.net. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Enjoy LasVegasDiscount.net. And don't forget, Tough Enough, next Saturday. Buy your tickets at Ticketmaster. Go to toughenough.com. Come meet Bobby Capucci. He will tell you what to bet on for Sunday. Live. We buy drinks. That's kind of our gimmick. It's our thing. It's a thing. And I haven't been to a live event really in a couple of months, so it's a thing. Come join us. Takes us to news of the week, brought to you by Boxing Scene. Why am I promoting their website? Because Andrew chose stories from Boxing Scene this week. We try to roll it around a little bit. Boxing Scene, the source for boxing online. Visit boxingscene.com. That's a good commercial for them. I'm very proud.
That was, yes, sir.
Boxing Scene, give me a call. Dominic Breazeale, I want Deontay Wilder. We have personal business. On Saturday night at Barclays Center, New York, Dominic Breazeale stopped Eric Molina after 8 rounds. Molina, exhausted after taking a battering in the 8th, had his arms hanging over the ropes when the round ended. A ringside doctor stopped it. Molina, 26-5, previously has lost both WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder and WBA IBF champion Anthony Joshua. Breazeale also has a loss to Joshua. The fight with Molina was billed as the WBC Eliminator, but contrary to reports, the contest was not a final eliminator. No shit, because the PBC is involved.
Thank God, yes.
Putting that aside, Breazeale is looking for a world title shot in his next fight. Deontay is who I want to fight, and he's who I want to face. I have to see him. We have some personal business that we need to square up man-to-man. There is a lot of bad blood between Wilder, who is in the main event of the same card, and Demolish Bermane Stiverne on that evening. The two big heavyweights were involved in a physical altercation back in February when they were both featured on the same card in Wilder's hometown of Alabama.
Staged.
Yeah, no shit. There was some type of confrontation between Breazeale and Wilder's brother, and then Wilder himself got involved with Breazeale at the nearby hotel in Birmingham. If Wilder is unable to secure unification with Joshua in the coming year, it would not be surprising to see him in the ring with Breazeale, as both of them are advised and promoted by Al Heyman and
is
the
your
PBC.
Robert Guerrero.
There you go.
Is your Victor Ortiz. You want Manny, but you're going to get this guy. You want Joshua, but you're going to get Breazeale. Oh, they got, hey, Lee, they got real bad beef here. You know, since February, these guys have been going at it. That was so staged. 2 PBC fighters. Come on. Fuck out of here. I'm sorry, I'm going to cuss. I don't like it. It's a weak fight. No one wants to see it. No, we don't think you guys, if you guys have a beef, I want them to get into a fight before they actually sign to fight in the ring. Then I'll believe it. So you guys want to stage something, throw blows at the next PBC event, then maybe I'll buy into your fight, because I know it's coming if you don't do it or if you do. Lee, this is the way they're going to go. Come on. Joshua, if you don't sign the PBC contract, guess who's not fighting?
Luis Ortiz is going to meet with the president of the WBC in New York this week.
He did.
WBA has officially suspended Ortiz for 1 year.
The WBC reinstated him as the mandatory.
Okay. So the WBA suspends him for a year, but the WBC reinstates him.
Yep. Yes, sir.
I hate
that. Happened.
I hate boxing.
I don't get it. I don't know who to believe anymore. You know, Deontay still saying that medicine was a cover to steroids. And
okay, hold on. Let's catch everybody up. Okay, Ortiz failed a random urine test and voluntary anti-doping Avada test on September 22nd when he was going to face Deontay Wilder. The Cuban-born fighter, undefeated in 27 fights, blah, 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 was the mandatory challenger. His recent failed test led him to everybody dropping him off the face of the planet. He was suspended. The 38-year-old fighter did not deny taking the diabetic hydrochloride, but said it was for his heart, blah, blah, blah. All right, everybody's caught up. So let me see if I got this straight. So the WBA suspending him for a year. The WBC reinstated him.
Yes.
That's
the WBA is saying
batshit crazy.
I know. They're saying because he's has a history of using PEDs, they don't need an actual dirty test. They're going to say because he didn't put this medication on the application and it could be a cover, we're suspending you anyways.
Well,
the WBC is saying we didn't catch him on steroids. So how are you going to suspend? Which is kind of true, Lee. It's kind of true. You can't suspend a man because of medication. Even if they didn't put it on the application, fine, you lose that fight. Sorry, fight's gone. But do you actually suspend him for a high blood pressure medication? So I see both of their arguments. I think I would probably rule with the WBC on this side, on this one, Lee, because there wasn't a crime actually committed. And I'm kind of tired of sports, NFL being one of them, the biggest one, that is always trying to just do a little too much, get a little too involved in some of these things. Now, this wasn't off the field like how Goodell's getting into most of these NFL cases nowadays. But in this hand, I think the WBA is suspending him on a dirty test that he had in a previous fight, not in actually this one. And to me, that's wrong. He already paid the fine and the suspension for that dirty test. You can't just go, oh, well, the guy has a history of doing dirty tests, so yeah, let's just suspend him anyways.
There you go.
You can't, right? That's double jeopardy, right?
I don't even know. Look, why are we even discussing a 40-year-old dude who wants to fight for the title?
Well, I like discussing it because, to me,
because Luis Ortiz doesn't deserve it. I mean, honestly, he got tested. He's dirty.
He blew it.
That's the end of it. That's it.
He lost his fight.
That's right.
But now, should he not still be the mandatory question?
And are any of us literally surprised that the most corrupt organization on the planet, I don't know how it's not under FBI investigation, to be perfectly honest. The WBC has repeatedly shown that they are a corruptible organization for money.
This weekend, Stiverne hadn't fought in 2 years and was the number one contender.
There you go.
Or it was a title defense. I don't know how he wasn't number one, but he was a title defense and he hadn't fought in 2 years. He was like ranked number 3, I believe, by the WBC. It's just like, how does that work? And then, I mean, seriously, come on. Anyone who looked at this kid, you knew that, or this man, excuse me, you knew he didn't train. His arms showed it all. His arms, they were so flabby. The guy didn't train.
He was hydrated. He was hydrated for this fight, Andrew.
He was hydrated.
Keith Heidick of BoxingScene.com wrote a piece on Friday with quotes. Eddie Hearn will fight. Eddie Hearn quotes, Joshua will fight Wilder, and it belongs at Wembley Stadium.
There it is.
He then went on to talk about it in the fight, talk about it in his opinion piece, but what really matters are the quotes. We want 3 fights next year for Joshua. He has a WBA mandatory, which is decided in the next few weeks. It could be Parker, Wilder, or Fury. Okay?
Cash cow. He's a cash cow.
That's it. And that's basically laying out the entire next year. That's what the big deal on the quote is. Eddie Hearn had this to say: the good news for everybody is that Joshua will fight anyone. You haven't got to worry about him saying no. He's fought everyone. So don't worry about it. And basically the next 3 up, and they stated, Parker, Wilder, and Fury. And I got bad news for Parker, Wilder, and Fury. You're all going to get your asses kicked.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's the real damn deal. That's it.
Especially for, like, Parker, who they didn't even think his first title defense ended in a controversial decision. So, I mean, Parker's not even on this level right now. And I know he has a win over one of the Fury family members, but there's nothing there. Joseph Parker's totally a belt waiting to be grabbed by one of these other bigger fish in the division. You go to Tyson Fury himself. I mean, come on, they're kind of a joke online how they think this guy is going to come back and just, be who he was. I really don't even know who he was when he left the sport, because I'm telling you, that Klitschko fight, it's just one of the dullest fights. Yeah, it's a dull fight, though, Lee. There's nothing going on. Klitschko's old and just unmotivated. He had nothing for Fury. Fury's whole highlight.
I don't know if that's necessary Klitschko or if that's Fury. Again, when you're talking about guys like Fury, who was the Mexican heavyweight who did the same crap? The Don King guy.
John Ruiz,
same
Puerto
style.
Rican.
Right, Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Forgive me, Mexican fans.
I believe he, yeah.
But the fact that style plays really well in the heavyweights. I mean, I know it's not fan-friendly, but that clutch grab inside choppy crap, it's tough. Klitschko's always had a problem with it.
Yeah, well then, I don't have him.
I don't think it's going to be a problem from
Joshua.
Anthony Joshua.
Yeah. Anyone seen how fat this guy's looked in the last 2 years, or how much cocaine he's been accused of doing? I mean, this is a guy who's been in the nut house. It's like Tyson Fury's had issues since that Klitschko fight. I'm just not ready to call him the king of the heavyweights. I really got to see him back in the ring. And believe me, Shannon Briggs is the rumored opponent for him on his comeback. That is not going to get you prepared for Anthony Joshua. You know what was funny is this week, they just did like a 20-year anniversary on Briggs getting knocked out by Lennox Lewis. And we're seriously still talking about Briggs in 2017. It's remarkable how long that guy has been able to stay in this sport.
There you go. I don't know, because Shannon Briggs doesn't fight anybody, but he talks a lot of trash.
And Lee, the reason why I posted that up there, Wembley, baby, that's it. I'm telling you right now, you guys, they're already saying Wilder needs to come to Wembley. You really think Al Heyman's sending Deontay Wilder to Wembley without it being like a $50 million payday?
Right. And they're not going to pay him that much.
They're not going to pay. There's no money for that.
Right. I agree.
They're going to tell him, dude, you make like, what, $3 million? Yep. Maybe?
Maybe.
Anthony Joshua made $20 million his last fight.
Yeah. That's the way it is. Joshua-Takam ratings. Again, Keith